And we can't be in a situation, a class, where we tell the boy, oh no, be nice to these girls. I mean, that's not what we want it to be, right? We want them to all feel equally valued, equally important, and equally competitive. It's whether it's a girl or a boy. I'll be honest with you, if a child is not confident, they don't want to be in the class.
That's true.
Football is not considered a girl's sport. Her friends might say, oh, you want to play football, who will she play with?
That's true. That's true. What do you notice about girls in sports these days? Like, why did it even begin?
So, we started realizing that we had girls playing football, they were in our under 7 program, some of them in under 9 program, but after some time, they started dropping out. For whatever reasons, they just felt uncomfortable and they were not very happy coming back. And we was just wondering what to do about it, and we didn't want, and we both believe firmly that girls should be given equal opportunity, or if there's something which we were not doing for them. And that's when the idea of Just for Girls came about, and we said, let's start a class just for them. Maybe at the age of 11, there's something going on in their minds, where, there are also changes, right? Physical changes between a boy and a girl, and where they felt the girls were not feeling so confident about playing with the boys. And, we can't be in a situation, a class, where we tell the boy, oh, no, be nice to these girls. I mean, that's not what we want it to be, right? We want them to all feel equally valued, equally important, and equally competitive. So in that mind, we said, let's start a class for Just for Girls and see how, whether the girls feel comfortable. And we started that class and we felt that they really thrived. And, the interesting thing was when they turned 13 or 15, they just felt so confident about themselves that some of them went back into the mixed class. They said, we want to play with. And even now, our Just for Girls class, there will be some sessions which they have just had by themselves, some sessions where they combine with the boys, but their confidence was much higher. And, I think that's very, very important. It's whether it's a girl or a boy, I'll be honest with you, if a child is not confident, they don't want to be in the class.
That's true.
And how much we say, okay, it's a level playing field and we're going to give you all importance. But if the child doesn't feel valued or doesn't feel confident, they're not going to enjoy the class. No,
Can I say something here about this? I don't know if it's appropriate in the sense that we always say boys and girls are equal, like you said, level playing field. But again, like you said, rightly said, girls go through a different body change, boys go through a different physical change. Maybe at some point it is not conducive for them to be at the same level or level playing ground. And when you separate them and give them the confidence and then bring them back when they're all happy about their body, they've settled in their body, then maybe they start feeling that confidence to be back together.
So in fact, the Just for Girls class is exactly that. So, they're confident, but there are times when they again come back, even now, So when they play matches, we kind of, above 11 or 12, we have the girls separately, especially when we play outdoor. We don't know the other teams, we don't know how physical it can get. So we have to be very careful about some of these aspects, right? But within Great Goals, we encourage them to, play with the boys, but come back for their separate training, because some of their training was also more catered to what their needs are. And again, coming back to I think boys and girls equally. There are sometimes when I tell a parent, it's okay for your child, even if your child is 10, to be in the 9-year-old class, because sometimes the child just needs to feel confident, and different children have different abilities, right? So I think the level playing field is a word which is so loosely used, but it has to be very, very specific.
Yes.
We run a large program in Ranipet, okay, and I won't say those the sort of barriers we faced when we started in Ranipet don't exist in Chennai, but I think urban and rural mindsets are a bit different. For example, even in Chennai, if you had a choice between a dance class at the same time and a football class, 90% of the mothers of girls will choose the dance class or the music class or the art class, and definitely even in sport, they'll choose basketball over football. Because how many schools have football for girls, right? There is that stereotype attached to this being a contact sport, a boys' sport, all of that, even today, right? Which is why there's such few opportunities for girls to play football. The second thing is, then there are barriers in the mind, right? Shorts, wearing shorts. Yeah. In rural, in Ranipet, we actually asked this question when we did, will you allow your daughter to wear shorts? What happens when they hit puberty? How open are we to allow them to continue playing? Safety everywhere, whether it's a boy or girl, safety is a big aspect. But in Ranipet, the girls travel further distances unaccompanied to reach the football field. So how does that matter? Is it okay with a male coach on the field? In fact, we had someone give us feedback in Chennai with the girls program. They said, "Ma'am, please put a girls coach for the girls." And we were like, "Are you worried about safety?" What? No, male coaches are easier on the girls than female coaches are. And you don't expect this at all,
Yeah,
right?
you don't.
So, and that's the beauty of, for us, our journey is every day you learn something new and something unexpected. And I think the important thing is you learn it, but what are you doing about it, right?
That's true. Speaking of barriers, Priya, what are the other barriers? Like you've spoken about a few of the barriers, but especially for girls in urban cities at this day and age, are there still barriers for girls to, play a contact sport like football?
It's not as, like she said, the sport is not played in school, right? I mean, so a lot of this is also about them wanting to play for the school team, for them to find opportunities to play. So, first and foremost, football is not considered a girl's sport. Oh, you're playing football, and you are also having to compete with other activities, right? Whether it's art, music, and so that's, I think, and it's all of it is in the mind. So even if a girl really loves to play and wants to play, her friends might say, "Oh, you want to play football? Who will she play with?"
That's true. That's true.
So it is coming from the peer group as well as parents.
Yes,
And,
exactly.
and it's coming from the ecosystem.
It is.
If a school doesn't have a football team,
There is no
where are they going
motivation
to
or
play,
incentives
right?
to.
So there's many layers, right? You have to love it to come and do this. You have to do it just for the joy of doing it, not with a purpose in mind, not a college application, not the medal, not the school team. And the parent has to say you're doing it for love, not what is the productive outcome that comes out of this. Because today, everything is towards the productive outcome, right?
But I have a very nice story which I want to share here. So we had this girl who's now working for us as an intern. So she actually is a very interesting story. She played football in school, and she was one of the few girls, but she pushed her girls to pushed her coach to start playing football in school and take them for tournaments. Now she's gone to college, but she loves the game so much that she's interning with us on weekends. She's home the weekend, so she says, she's coming every weekend and interning and wants to continue playing. So there are, people who take it to the next level, and because the opportunities for girls are less, right, for her to play as a team. But she's decided even if she can't play the sport, she's going to,
Stay connected with it.
Stay connected with the sport.